Yeah, porn star Jimmy showed up Monday night.
Really?
Handled his business. I understand it's
Really?
PG and all of that other stuff. He likes the name. I like the name. My man Keyshawn is chilling in L.A. You understand what I'm saying? Little background up there. Got on his shirt looking all warm and everything like that. That's right. I'm jealous. You know what that means, right? All that means I'm going to take it out on my boy. It's Tuesday morning. Keyshawn's in the house. Bomb's in the house. Amina Khan's is showing up. And, of course, Molly Wood
Good morning.
with her golden mug. She's in the house, too. First takes in the house, y'all. Let's roll.
Estadio Azteca, they're ready to watch this matchup. And here they come. End zone, what a throw and catch. On top they go. That is picked. Garoppolo will float in. Kittle is gone for the touchdown. They're hanging in this game. Boy, do the Cardinals need that. Samuel gets it. Debo, touchdown, what a play. They can come at you a lot of different ways. This is a serious Super Bowl contending team.
Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the First Take. Thank you for being with us. Stephen A., you really already did the intro, so hi.
Hey.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Key, how we doing?
Hey. That's all we get when you just in LA. That's all we get.
Hey,
You know
girl,
what I'm
hey.
saying? That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man.
I hope you dressed warm from your car to the studio. Because
Well,
I
they-
did.
you
I
know-
had
you know-
on shorts this morning.
Oh.
He got to rub it in like that. He got to rub it in. That is a little long walk from the parking lot to the studio. But
Are
you
you
know,
being
I mean,
serious right now? From the parking lot to the
I'm just
studio?
talking about in terms of the cold. In terms of the cold, because you got to be outside and you walking around in the water, and when the cold hits you off
You're
the
from
water,
Queens.
it affects you differently. You know what I'm saying? It affects
Oh
you
my
differently.
gosh. Let's
but I'm
start the
here.
show.
I'm here.
All right. And we begin in the Bay. San
Let's do
Francisco 49ers are headed back to the Bay with a victory and tied for first in the NFC West after defeating the Arizona Cardinals 38-10 at Estadio Azteca in Monday Night Football. The Niners extended their win streak to 3 and moved to 4-0 against division rivals Jimmy G. 20 of 29 with 4 TDs. Talk to me. Here's Kyle Shanahan on his QB.
Jimmy's doing a great job. I think Jimmy always has. When Jimmy's been healthy out there, we've had our guys around him. I think he plays at a very high level, and I think he did that today as good as he has. So we're very fortunate to have him.
No one is loving the addition of Christian McCaffrey more than Jimmy Garoppolo. He matched a career-high 4 passing touchdowns on Monday, all with McCaffrey on the field. He's completing 79% of his passes with 0 interceptions with McCaffrey this season compared to 62% and 4 INTs without him. Okay, Stephen A.
Yes.
Will Jimmy G keep the Niners from the Super Bowl?
Well, if they don't go to the Super Bowl, he'll be the reason why. That's what I mean by that. I mean, I still believe in the 49ers. I still think they got a chance. I certainly expect them to hand it to the Cowboys when they run into one another, assuming that happens. But if the 49ers, I'm answering this question this way, Key. If the 49ers do not make it to the Super Bowl, it'll be because of Jimmy G. It'll be because of Jimmy G.
Not if he
It ain't
plays
gonna
like
be
he
because
did
of Kittle.
last night.
It ain't gonna be because of Kittle. It ain't gonna be because of Debo. It damn sure ain't gonna be because of Christian McCaffrey. It ain't gonna be because of Kyle Shanahan. It ain't gonna be because of that defense. It's gonna. By the way, a defense is ranked 4th overall, number 1 in yards allowed, number 1 against the run. By the way, okay. It ain't gonna be because of that defense. If the San Francisco 49ers fail to make it to the Super Bowl, it'll be because Jimmy Garoppolo, a.k.a. Jimmy G, a.k.a. porn star Jimmy, who finds a way
to come up with retired that nickname last year. Why did you resurrect it?
I would never tire of it. It is not an insult. I am not knocking him for it. I like the name. You know, I'm not insulting him when I say that. My point is that at the end of the day, this dude right here was supposed to be the backup. Because you got Trey Lance that was supposed to be up in there before he got injured. They clearly have reservations about Jimmy G. They told him to go on an open market and get another job. And they were willing to bring him back as a backup. and then Lance goes down, he gets injured. Jimmy G steps up in there. Kyle Shanahan calling play, trying to literally manage him per se, but Christian McCaffrey being that weapon that they got from the Carolina Panthers. This brother's a stud. I've always been a huge fan of his, and what he brings to the equation, to me, is an elevated level to some degree, because I know Deebo Samuel is a wide receiver that can do a multitude of things for you, Keyshawn, but Christian McCaffrey is a running back that can do a multitude of things that wide receivers can do. And I think the combination of those two makes San Francisco formidable, and I certainly don't look at them as being an impediment to the San Francisco 49ers' success. It will be Jimmy G. He will be the reason if San Francisco don't make it to the Super Bowl.
It's easy to point to Jimmy G, right? He could be the easy guy to point to just based on how they handled him, what went on with him in the Super Bowl, and he missed this much, a touchdown to Samuel. We wouldn't even be having this conversation if that happened, because he would be on a long-term deal, and we wouldn't even have a conversation.
Okay.
I don't believe that he will be the reason behind them not making it to the Super Bowl or even getting into the NFC Championship game. It won't be because of him, because you said, right, Stephen A., you said, hey, they didn't even want him. They told him, go find somewhere else to go. But do you think they're glad to have him now? Do you think that they're extremely happy to have him now?
I think they're very happy to have him now.
Do you think they wish that they would have never treated him that way now? Of course they do. Of course they do. But in the end, it's going to be because of Kyle Shanahan. It's because of all of a sudden Kyle Shanahan is going to get so tight he can't shoot a BB out of you know what. Because that's what happens to him. It happened to him in the past. It can happen to him again. Now, I look at the games when they went to the Super Bowl and they played Minnesota and Green Bay and they took the football out of Jimmy G's hand and he only attempted about 23 passes in those two games. But that didn't serve them well when it came to the Super Bowl. They had him so tight and feeling a certain type of way that it didn't help them. That was more on Kyle Shanahan than it was on Jimmy G. But again, that's more on Kyle Shanahan. To now you have to trust that your quarterback is going to do it. You trust him last night. You trusted him in other games. Now give him the opportunity. If, in fact, you get in a position to get to the Super Bowl, let's just not assume that they're going to win their division. Seattle ain't going away. I mean, Seattle's going to be there.
I'm making that assumption. They win in the division. They win in the NFC West.
I'm not going to make that assumption just yet.
You never do.
I understand. Well, why should I? I want to wait and see. I want to wait and see.
You are the most unpredicting predictor I have ever known.
Why do I have to predict everything? I'm not a damn fortune teller, son.
Well, why not?
Come on, now, Stephen A.
You should try that, man. It might work sometime. It might work for you.
But look at the schedule.
There could be some money in
look
there.
at that schedule that they just put up. They got the Buccaneers. They got the Dolphins. You think the Dolphins, everybody got them high and flying tours, MVP and everything, and Tyreek Hill tweeting at everybody. They got the Buccaneers. They go to Seattle. Now, the Commanders is hot and heavy right now. Okay, and then the Raiders, I don't even want to talk about the last two games. But them games before the last two, them are not cakewalks, regardless of what FPI
What's Seattle's schedule?
I don't know Seattle's schedule.
Okay,
you got to put it up.
I'm going to pull up Seattle's schedule for you because I like how you're throwing it out there. All of those are very winnable games for the San Francisco 49ers, no doubt about it, because they play roughhouse football. They're a very physical team. And you got some of those teams that lack some physicality to them. So it's going to be real interesting to see, especially that 4-week gap where you're talking about Miami, Seattle, the Commanders, and I forgot the other team. The point is, I get all of that. But I'm looking at Seattle, too. And Seattle, just when we started praising them, had Pete Carroll as arguably the coach of the year, Geno Smith, runaway choice for comeback player of the year. The minute you started talking about them, they wet the bed. So I pay attention to that, too.
They lost one game in what was it they had in Germany?
Tampa.
They lost one game to Tampa Bay.
To Tampa, who was struggling offensively all year long.
Stephen A., it's Tom damn Brady.
I predicted that was going to happen, too. Oh, really? Really? That's what we're doing now?
It's Tom Brady,
So when I said that, you was talking about, when I said that, you was talking about how they were struggling. Now you're saying it's Tom damn Brady. But a few weeks ago, you were telling me, they struggling really bad.
But the defense is better now. They getting players back. They ran the football efficiently against Seattle. I'm just saying. That was a good Tampa Bay team that they ran up against.
Okay.
Seattle has the Raiders, Rams, Panthers, Niners, Chiefs, Jets.
Damn.
So that last three is tough. The last three is tough.
The last three is tough. No. Well, they got the Rams to close out the season, but the three prior to that, San Francisco, Kansas City, and the Jets, that's tough. But the
That's
Raiders,
tough.
the Rams, and the Raiders, a road game against the Rams and the Carolina Panthers are obviously all winnable games for Seattle, no doubt about that.
That's why I say don't just hand the division to the 49ers. When you think about it, they probably gonna get the Raiders. They probably
Wait a
gonna get the
second.
Rams.
Hold on, Keyshawn, because I was working out this morning and I was watching the show. Keyshawn, why are you looking at me like that? Like I don't work out.
She was saying that she worked out, Keyshawn. I mean, usually
No,
she's
Molly
been
always-
bragging
Molly-
about how much she's been eating. Now she's gonna
No,
tell us how
Molly-
working out.
Molly
First of
works
all,
out.
let me shout out Mario Carbone really quick because I did eat very well this weekend. So thank you very much for that. And I did go to some fine restaurants, but I do work out every morning, believe it or not. Anyway, Keyshawn, back to my
Work off
point.
some calories you ate.
We're
Go ahead.
working out this morning, watching you guys, and I remember we had Key's Real Rankings, and I
Yeah.
was listening really. I always pay attention to that segment, and I remember in Key's Real Rankings that you had the Niners, but I don't remember
do.
you didn't have the Seattle Seahawks.
But that doesn't mean that Seattle ain't gonna win the division. I just had the 49ers at 4. I
God,
think.
it's just a
Come on,
different
come
take
on,
for a different
whoa.
show.
Hold on,
New
Molly.
audience,
Before we
new
move on
take.
to the next segment. So what you're saying is the list is fluid. It's fluid.
Absolutely.
It's fluid, right?
I
So why
learned
don't
from
you say
you.
it? Why don't you say
I
it?
know how to
There we go.
bamboozle the crowd from you.
That's right. The list is fluid. That's what he's saying, Molly. That's what he's saying. The list is fluid.
Yeah.
All right, we good.
Admit I got you.
We good. We good.
No, you didn't get
Yes,
me.
I did. I said great teams.
Not a
Seattle was nowhere
chance.
to be found. And you know
Not a
what else?
chance.
You were hating